What's up, nerds? And in this case, weebs. I'm James.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're back at it again with anime, you know, the little niche thing nobody likes to talk about. So, we went over it last time, but we're going to go to Kyle's perspective on his top 3 anime and then his 3 anime he really struggled with.
All right. So, top 3 for me of all time. Do we do an all time, not like Herrick?
Sure, we'll go with all time.
Okay, so all time is Demon Slayer. A solid. Demon Slayer is like legendary at this point. It's only, you know, less than 100 episodes and it's pound for pound amazing. Lean as fuck. Number 2 has to be Naruto at this point, like just because it's a journey and like it's once you get through it and once you love it, the universe still reveals more secrets to you and it's still building. Like I still love the Baruto storyline. I still love all of that. And I want to say probably Shaman King is like my third one just because I loved it so much growing up, and then like being able to watch it get remastered for Netflix and like them really like take everything to the next level was like super special to me specifically.
Yeah, so you're like a more like long form serialized kind of stuff.
I'm like a big fan of like having a story that like continues and you get to like understand why this character was introduced here and like how they come back and all the powers that be between all of that and the like I love stories that intertwine. Maybe if you don't understand like right now, there's always a reason for it. I think that's why anime is one of my favorite platforms to begin with.
Yeah, the story can just play it out the full way.
And yes, you do get, you know, a decent amount of episodes that, you know, you have to slug through, but that's just anime in general, right?
Yeah.
And I would say 3 that I like have tried and like weren't able to really get into. It's hilarious because mine is JoJo and you love JoJo.
I do. I love it.
But so for me, I just like, and there's nothing about the character, like the character design was weird. Like I didn't enjoy what the like whole, I didn't understand what was going on. And maybe I didn't watch enough of it, but for me, I just,
funny British boy.
That's not for me. And I was watching it subbed and not dubbed. I don't know if that maybe made a difference, but I want to say Black Clover is another one that I really enjoyed, but like it was just not entertaining enough for me to like get through it. But now I feel like this was also back when there was maybe 1 or 2 seasons now, so like there's a lot more for us to consume now. So I think maybe might give that one another go at some point in life. And then the third one was that I don't want to say it's like the same where like it's a slugfest and I didn't finish. Like for me, One Piece, like the first 200 episodes, like I have said many times on Nerd Alert and other articles, is that first 200 episodes is a lot, but it builds your foundation for the show. It builds your house, it lays the foundation, it gets your floor ready, it gets everything ready for them to build what is the giant story of One Piece on. So you get your character development, you get the motivations of every single one of the Straw Hats. Like you get to understand each one of them as a character and what, you know, moves them forward and what like their pain and struggles are. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't appreciate until later on in the show when it starts to pay off. So those first 200 episodes are hard because that's all you're getting. Like you're not getting a lot of action. You're not getting a lot of, you know, like sick animations. Like you're just getting a lot of development. And then once it takes off, it does not slow down.
It's like a boulder down a hill.
Yeah.
It does not stop. Now, I do have to ask, what is the currency used in One Piece?
Berries.
All right. Now time to the million-berry question. Is the One Piece real?
We don't know. To this day, dang, 1,000 episodes in, people have no idea if the One Piece is real.
Maybe the One Piece is the One Piece as we One Pieced among the One Piece. That hurt me to say.
Oh, it doesn't at all. Yeah, report it. But yeah, so with longer running animes, is JoJo the longest one that you watched? Or
I meant to think about this. I think so.
and yeah, and here's way that I've looked at things and the conversation that I've had with people, I feel like the more episodes of the show that you watch, the more that you like will love and go down for that show.
Yeah, there's a
Committed.
you have to. It's like I might as well love it anyway.
Right. And I feel like that's like almost, what is it called when like the kidnapper kidnaps you and then you're like, you love the kidnap?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, so I feel like anime sometimes give me Stockholm syndrome where it's taken too much of my life.
I feel almost the inverse. It's like the reason I love Evangelion so much is because there's so little of it that it's like I want more, but I also recognize that's not the point.
Right.
And so it puts me in this weird feedback loop of like I want more, but I can't have more because that's not the point. And it's, yes, JoJo is the longest, but it's also each part is its own individual story. So really, it could also be the shortest at the same time.
Right. And with Demon Slayer specifically, right? Like each season is maybe 10 episodes. And I think the first couple were longer than that. But now we're getting to the point where there's only 4 arcs left of the entire thing. And I don't know what I'm going to do when it's over. Like, I probably would rewatch it all the time. But like, that's the other thing is like, you don't want things to stop, but like some things burn out over time. Like, exactly. Like, as much as I love Dragon Ball, like Super has some hard parts of Super. The animation's rough. Like, it's not, it is a legendary,
Absolutely. Like, I may not be a Dragon Ball person, but I recognize that it's like that built anime.
yeah, especially in America.
Very much so. Toonami and this power level is over 9,000.
Vegeta will never live that one down.
No, he will not.
But I believe that aspect of what is like the foundation that's being laid, I think that they just need to re-look at what Dragon Ball is and potentially, if they want to continue, like realize that they're competing with like Demon Slayer. They're competing with One Piece that have all upped their animation levels and their budgets and like gone really insane. And now, but like them coming back, yes, yeah, they've got a lot of competition. But the Dragon Ball movies, for example, like have a completely different animation style.
Yeah.
So I have heard that recently the guy that directed the most recent Dragon Ball movie, I think it's Superhero or whatever.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So he's expressed interest in rebooting the entire franchise with his art style.
I'd be interested to see how they do that because the only thing I could think of is it the Soul Bomb? The one where it's like, everybody hear me?
Or the Spirit Bomb.
The Spirit Bomb, it's Goku just gets it over Zen and Spirit Bomb's too hard.
Yeah, Goku does that a lot of times where he's just like, but it's wild. So I'll just keep going with Dragon Ball for a second. There was a point. Have you seen Dragon Ball?
Bits and pieces. I've never watched the full thing.
Okay, so during the Cell Saga,
Oh yes,
there's a point where Goku dies, right?
yeah.
Spoiler alert: Chris Honors and still 20-year-old man.
Yeah, spoiler alert for War and Peace.
And then Gohan like takes over, defeats Cell, all that kind of stuff. At that moment, they never planned on bringing Goku back. That was supposed to be the end be all for him. And because America loved Goku so much, there was such a demand for him, they brought him back and made him the star of the series. But it was always supposed to be a story about Gohan. It wasn't supposed to be a story about Goku. And now, thousands of episodes later, Goku's still alive and still getting stronger and still like leveling up. But like, I think about if they just committed to what they wanted to do, how different of a series that would be.
I can definitely see that being a thing where it's like it would have not been as popular. Seeing guys that like Goku is, for lack of better terms, almost fetishized in the U.S. as an anime character, and anybody can show you a picture of Goku, and like non-anime fans will be like, "Oh, that's that dude from that anime with the balls and the dragons and whatever." And that's
how I will describe him from now on.
I think if Gohan had taken over, it definitely would have been a very different story for Dragon Ball in the U.S.
And it's like they really like dumbed him down. Like they made him be Great Saiyaman or whatever that whole thing was. Like you went from being like the most powerful character, right, to like being literally like sidelined to like out of even the like top 3 powerful characters. Like it should if they were going to do it, they should have just had Gohan beside him the entire time. But it wasn't until Superhero that they gave him some respect. So same thing with Piccolo. Piccolo's him beeline for a long time. But
I think that happens with a lot of characters in general, is that it's just like, especially in the sphere of anime and manga production, if your manga, and then to a lesser extent anime, isn't popular, you're dead in the water. And so a lot of artists will like take in audience interaction and try and cater to the audience rather than create what they want. And it's not bad. There are times where it works really well, but then there are times where it just kind of kneecaps itself.
I've never thought about it like that. Yeah, just an interesting perspective.
So, tell us your favorite Dragon Ball moments in the comments down below. Like and subscribe.